Now FIFA has suspended the All India Football Federation. FIFA has announced that the suspension of the All India Football Federation late on Monday evening, stating that the undue influence from third parties, which constitutes a serious violation of the FIFA statutes, is essentially the reason. Now, the announcement was made via a release on the FIFA website, and the governing body of the World Football stated that it would lift the suspension, and I quote, once in order to set up a committee of administrations to assume the powers of the AIFF Executive Committee has been repealed, and the AIFF administration regains full control of the AIFF's daily affairs. Now, this suspension essentially means that the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which was scheduled to take place in India in October, cannot currently be held in India as planned. Now I'm crossing over to my colleague Rishi Sinha to give us more details on this. Rishi, this is a big blow to the All India Football Federation. Can you give us more details about why this is happening?
Yeah. So absolutely, without a doubt, this is a big blow, and it's coming just months before the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup is about to be held. So now, if to understand the background of the story, this all started in May of this year when Praful Patel, who was the AIFF president for more than 3 terms, he was removed as per the norms. Now, once AIFF President Praful Patel was removed, a committee of administrators was formed, and they were trying to set the AIFF house in order. Now, the latest standoff that has happened between the FIFA and AIFF is that the union, the sports ministry basically wants, apart from the state associations, they also want eminent players to be a part of the AIFF. Now, as per the FIFA rules, you cannot have eminent players, or people cannot be selected in the AIFF. Rather, they have to be elected. So that's the bone of contention that's exactly there between the AIFF and FIFA. AIFF as a whole, basically governed by the sports ministry, they want eminent players to be a part of that, which would be selected and not elected. However, FIFA wants that all the people who are there in the AIFF should be elected. Now, recently, a more recent development that has happened was that FIFA has told the sports ministry and even the AIFF that they can have 25% of the people as the selected people, those eminent players. But still, the sports ministry and AIFF is not agreeing to it. So that was the bone of contention. Also, I might tell here that the talks are still on. Yes, they have suspended them for now, calling it, a third-party intervention. Having said that, it's not that the World Cup is going to be cancelled and all, because a tournament of the gravity of a World Cup, it requires a lot of arrangements, finding new venues and everything. So honestly, I don't feel that the World Cup is not going to be held in India. Yes, there are negotiations happening to and fro, and I believe within maybe say a week or something like that, we'll be able to figure out something so that the tournament can go on.
All right, now Rishi, is this the first time that an allegation against the AIFF like this has come up, and are there any previous responses, or is there a current response from the AIFF about this?
So there's nothing, no response has come as of now, because the mail from FIFA came late last night. Actually, the official ban only came at 2:06 a.m. But so Sunil Chhetri, actually, the Indian football captain, has given a reaction. Although he gave this reaction much before the ban, around 3 to 4 days back, he said that the players should not worry about any ban as such, and they should focus on the game, because AIFF is competent enough to resolve such situations. So at this point of time, everyone, even the football captain, believes that this is just a temporary standoff, and the standoff will be resolved soon. Having said that, yes, it's a big shame as far as the word of, for the football fans are concerned, for everyone actually, we as a country, because the top football body banning the AIFF, the Football Federation of India, it's a big setback. It reflects very, very poorly on how the things are being run as far as the Football Association is concerned.
Absolutely. Now, Rishi, is it likely that due to this big action that's being taken by the FIFA and the AIFF, is it likely that we are going to see an internal investigation take place? Because they've claimed that there is undue influence from third parties, which is a massive allegation, especially when it comes to a body like the AIFF. So could we possibly see an internal investigation?
So I don't think there's going to be an investigation per se that FIFA officials will come. See, these are all technicalities, these are all technical terms that FIFA uses. So by third party intervention, I believe what they mean is those players that the bone of contention is that AIFF wants to be a part of their setup. So I don't think a probe is going to happen, but definitely there are going to be hectic negotiations, a lot of hectic parleys between the Union Sports Ministry and the AIFF and FIFA, because all of them want the situation to be resolved soon. One, it's very important for the AIFF because it reflects poorly on them. It's very important for the Sports Ministry because again, they are the ones who govern who governs the sports body, and of course FIFA also would not want it. It comes as a bad publicity to them because it's right like 2 months just before an event of the magnitude of the World Cup. So they also don't want to get into this whole process of finding a new venue, finding a new host, and figuring out things. So at this point of time, I don't think any investigations are going to happen. But yes, everyone would want a solution to be arrived at quickly.
All right, Rishi, now I also wanted to ask you one final question. Can you tell us about how this is going to impact football players and football teams as well?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you ask again, please?
So essentially, my final question for you is, can you also tell us about how this is going to impact football players and teams?
Right. So as far as football players and teams are concerned, see, the good part is that we don't have any international matches lined up at this point of time for almost another 2 to 3 months. So since there are no such matches lined up, it really won't impact us as a country, as a nation, as a footballing nation. But yes, the only big contention, the only big issue here is still the World Cup that's coming up in October. The club matches and all can still go on because FIFA does not give any points to those club matches. The comes up when there is an international match happening, and to which FIFA gives some points, and the rankings of the team actually get affected by it. So at this point of time, there is no immediate effect. But yes, it should be resolved quickly, and I'm sure that it will be resolved very soon.
All right, Rishi, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that comprehensive view of the significance of this decision by FIFA. It's something that we will continue to track. Now, we have some breaking news.